afternoon. Once again, we're live at Augie's Locker Room with another edition of Spirit of Knute. I'm Jeff Harrell, author of Rockne of Ages and As God's Witness, The Death of Knute Rockne. And today's topic got me thinking a little bit. We got Notre Dame students coming back up, coming back here in another few weeks, and actually another 3 or 4 weeks at the most. And the football team comes back within the next week or two to start practice. And it got me thinking about when Rockne wrote in his own words, as depicted in Rockne of Ages in the section Rockne on Rockne, about his first time coming into Notre Dame. And he joined the football team because, as he put it, a varsity man, Joe Collins, recommended me for the chance with the big boys. Though their coach, Shorty Longman, wasn't very enthusiastic about that because, as he said, freshmen were played in those days very minimally, but simply because there was a small enrollment in the school and the football team needed bodies. So they took in everybody. And that was before, by the way, the NCAA rules that said you could only play varsity as a sophomore, junior, senior, which, as we all know, was even revisited and taken back to where anybody could play. For freshmen could come in and play. I believe that was in the 70s. It was in the early to mid 70s. So anyway, Rockne's first team with the first chance with the team didn't go very good. He said he tried to punt, and as he put it, he tried to punt, and I guess it didn't work out very good. As he said, nothing was coordinated. He was half paralyzed after a 200-pound tackle smashed into me. He says, my 145 pounds went backwards for a 15-yard loss. And after the game, or at halftime of that game, Shorty Longman came in and made a speech. And Coach Longman apparently was known for his regular weekly speeches, but Knute Rockne, this was his first foray into halftime locker room speech. So as he said, Shorty Longman came in and said, "Boys, today is the day. The honor of the old school is at stake. It's now or never. We must fight the battle of our lives. I don't want any man with a streak of yellow to move from this room. You've all got to be heroes. Heroes, or I never want to see you again. Go out and conquer. It's the crisis of your lives." Rockne was impressed. Matter of fact, he was so impressed that he went out and he said they pushed the opposing team right out of Cartier Field and took no prisoners. Well, they had practiced that week, and the next week they had another game. And the next Saturday, during halftime of the game, Coach Longman came in. It was a tough game. Coach Longman entered the dressing room. He goes, "Boys, today is the day of days. The honor of the old school is at stake. The eyes of the world are on you. Go out and bleed for the old school. And if anybody has a yellow streak, let him." And Rockne kind of took pause, and he was like, "Wait a minute, this is the same speech as Coach gave last week." And he sat there, as he put it, he said, "I sat there awestricken." Then he looked around the room and he saw 2 veteran players. Gus Doré, of course, the quarterback that Rockne would later become famous for with perfecting the forward pass, and Al Bergman. Both were yawning. And Rockne says, according to Rockne, Bergman asked, "What do you think of the act today?" Doré said, "Not so good. I thought he was better last week." That was a great lesson for Knute Rockne, who would go on to become not only a legendary coach, but also a legendary orator. The most famous speech maker, of course, we all know the win one for the Gipper speech, but he made speeches, his speeches were as legendary as he's coaching. And his motivational skills are still used today by sales teams in corporations, not only around the country, but around the world. And as Coach Rockne finalized. One oration a season is quite enough for any football squad. Action brings reaction, and if the coach talks too much, his words lose weight. Words of wisdom from a great coach. Appreciate your time. We're live from cut that out.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry.
We're live from Augie's locker room. Beautiful Augie's locker room in beautiful South Bend, Indiana, the shadow of Notre Dame. We'll see you next time. Go Irish.